One of my biggest pet peeves is how supplements and vitamins are labeled. It's very deceptive. What you want to make sure of is that you are getting the active ingredient and enough of it in the supplements that you buy. I mean, obviously, if you can get your nutrients from food, that is always preferred. It's the best absorbed and all that, but sometimes it's not possible. So I want to give you a few examples. Turmeric, which is a really great herb for inflammation, the active ingredient is curcumin. And a lot of the time the label will just say turmeric or even curcumin, but it doesn't give you the percentage of the active ingredient. So you want to look for curcumin and you want to look for it at a 95 percentile concentration. Another one is calcium. Unless the calcium that you are taking is elemental calcium, you will not absorb it. So if you look at a calcium supplement label and it says 1200 milligrams, you think, great, that's the RDA, I'm doing a great job. Well, no, because at the very most, there are a lot of forms of calcium. At the very most, the absorbable elemental calcium in that supplement is 40%. So you have to take a lot more than what is recommended on the label to get what your body needs. Iron is another one. Elemental iron is the only iron your body will absorb. Most labels do not give you the content of elemental iron in the iron supplement. So you might be wasting your money. It might be a very tiny percentage, even if it shows the recommended daily requirement. There are so many other examples. Fish oil. You take fish oil for inflammation and brain health and heart health. And the active ingredients are EPA and DHA. And we need more often than what is just on the label, especially if you have things like anxiety and depression and heart health issues. So a good guideline for the combined EPA and DHA is 1,000 milligrams or more. If that information is not on the label, do not buy it. It may be a gigantic waste of money. There are a lot of other examples that I can use, but before you take a supplement, investigate which forms are of that supplement. Like magnesium, there's 4 different forms. Which forms are the most absorbable? Which will give you the least amount of side effects? Are you getting the active ingredient? What about fillers? You want something with the least amount of fillers. And artificial ingredients, you want it as pure as possible. Some of them have gluten. That may be an issue for you. There's so much to look at and investigate, and it may seem overwhelming. So it's worth the time to learn more about it. But I'm more than happy to answer questions about any supplements or herbs or whatever you take. They're not harmless. They do have side effects. They do have, treating yourself with herbs or vitamins or things like that may not be a good idea at all, because you may not only be wasting money, you can be causing pretty detrimental side effects that make your symptoms worse. So hopefully I've given you some stuff to think about, and feel free to ask questions.